Welcome back to my channel. This is the third time I've recorded this. First time I had an issue with offloading and it basically delays speech. I wasn't going to fix that. Nope. So I recorded it on a new camera. I got the Sony FX3.
It's a sacrifice I am willing to make.
But I didn't realize my shutter speed was at 1/5 and I had so much motion blur just because I just didn't realize it was shutter speed issue. That's just on me. So this is the third time. Third time's the charm with a different outfit or hair or whatever. The Bear. I love food and I love movies. So when you have films and food, you'll find me there. Also, I want to mention too, on that cooking video I did, I hope you enjoyed it. I did not mean to put 2 rice cups. I was already in the zone. I don't know where I was going. I should have put 1 because I didn't eat all of that. I honestly put it right back in the fridge. So The Bear, unfortunately, is on its last season.
So this is it? After all we've been through.
And blessing us with beautiful artistry of what it means to own a restaurant and what family and friends truly mean. So we're on the last installment, and I know I am so late. I am very late. Mind you, I haven't watched any episodes other than the first and second. This is a new installment where I'm going to be doing 2 episodes recap just as an homage to the incredible show The Bear. I'm just going to tell you what happens. It's going to be a small amount of stats for this video just so you can know what's going on, and then I'm going to tell you the recap and we can discuss and talk and comment in the comments as a community, and I'll even put up some comments if there are any in the next video. So The Bear is done, and I just want to give a thank you to the director Christopher Storer for creating this incredible TV show, not only doing it in a way where it beautifully showcases art and food, but also the story, the actors, the overall environment of being connected to Chicago and utilizing its environment and putting so many jobs in the film industry back on the market where it pours back into our community. It's just such a beautiful thing. So I just want to take a moment to thank the director and writer creating this and the overall impact it has made in Chicago, because I'm located in Illinois, but I frequently go to Chicago a lot. So this was like me geeking out at the fact that there's a film, and I'm like, I know that, because you get films based in LA and New York and Boston and all these different places, and it's like, that's cute and all, but Chicago's where it's at. We the heart of it. We got movies for days. So I won't get into it, but I just will give you some information. Now let's get into this video. I have a story of me going to the original Beef when I was doing a location scout for my own short film. I have an interesting story that I'll let you know at the end of the series. Some quick mini stats. Rotten Tomatoes is at 93%. IMDb is at an 8.5 out of 10. The cinematographer is Andrew Wade. Letterboxd only does reviews for films and movies, so there is no rating for Letterboxd. Although I would assume it will rate it either an 8 or a 9, just out of my assumption, right? The cost of this generated $3.5 million per episode for this season, at least. They started off with a modest budget of $2 million, investing into actors that are not A-listers. So they really wanted to drive into the humanity of the heart of this show, as well as being able to find people to execute emotions and humanity in a high stress environment, which, if you don't know, restaurants are one of the top stressful jobs, let alone owning one, in the industry, basically of the world or of this country. I think of the world, but I feel like the country. This film brought a surge of jobs into the film industry, especially in Chicago, because due to COVID, it hit a lot of people in the industry very hard. There was SAG-AFTRA strikes and different issues happening already. I wasn't a part of it, so I just was told these stories by the people who I talked to who worked on The Bear. So The Bear Bar impacted the community a lot with over 18,000 industry jobs. And I even met the best boy and one of the gaffers at a convention, which I'll show a video at the end of this. She was incredible. Shout out to you, Jaxie. Not only am I grateful, but I know those people were grateful as well. And it's even better that it's a fantastic story plot. And it even utilized actual restaurant locations. It didn't build anything, but it used the locations of the original beef, which is the actual restaurant. And I put the address below, and that helped promote not only that restaurant, but other restaurants as well within the show. It actually poured in $1 to $2 million towards media value into restaurants that is showcased in the show. One being the Mr. Beef, the other one of a restaurant called Avec, and another one called Kasama, which I've never been to Kasama or Avec, but there's been articles and stuff about like how they barely can get a seat anymore at their favorite restaurants. And this show has started from 2022 to 2026, if you didn't know. The cast members are incredible in here. I'll just list a few. Jeremy White, Ayo Edaberry, sorry for the butcher, Molly Gordon, John Bernthal, who we'll see in Spider-Man, Will Poulter.
How you doing?
Abby Elliott, Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. She's one of my favorite actresses, and her personality is so infectious. Maddie Matheson, who was my favorite character in the Bear series. Oliver Platt playing Uncle Jimmy. He's that uncle that you need, that keeps telling you real life realism, but still wants to invest into you, but still drives you insane. Speaking of insanity, we got Ebon Bachrach. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce names, but he's incredible. He's also one of my favorites. Lionel Boyce playing Marcus. Liza Zayas playing the incredible Tina. She's been killing it. Her acting is so heart-wrenching. I love it so much. We got Corey Hendricks as Sweeps. Ricky Stefari. He's hilarious. Yeah, him and Maddie are my favorite. They are hilarious. They're the comic relief that you didn't know you need, but you need. Edwin Lee Gibson playing Abram, and a host of other incredible cast members. So a small recap of season 4. Uncle Jimmy gave the restaurant and the crew 2 months to make it profitable.
The clock is telling you how much money we have left. When that shows 0, this restaurant needs to cease operations.
And he even had a timer and everything until it reads 0. And that would have been the end of the Bear. And so once they had their restaurant opening, we were at the edge of our seats of whether they actually made a profit or did a good job of an overall restaurant getting the high reviews, or if it was going to be a fail. And then on top of that, being burnt out, tired, exhausted, and mentally over this high stressful cooking restaurant environment, Carmi has made a decision to give 50% of the ownership to Sydney.
Any chance of any kind of good in this building, it started when you walked in. And any possibility of it surviving, it's with you.
So we left on a cliffhanger of what reviews was given about the restaurant and their opening, how Sydney was feeling about getting 50% ownership, and whether or not the restaurant is going to survive after the first opening. Episode 1 starts off with Tina conversating with her husband in the morning, learning new tricks, and just having the anxiety what's about to happen. And then we sector into thunderstorms, lightning, floods, and power outages that low-key happened in real life like a week or 2 ago. If you don't know anything about Illinois or Chicago, we have the most off-the-ramp weather. It literally within a day can be sunny, beautiful, sunshiny, then boiling hot where you can cook eggs on streets, dreadfully cold, then raining, flooding everywhere, all within a day. I've been here for a while. I've seen it happen. I can say Chicago, Illinois as a state, super resilient because we don't fold. Different newscasts of the weather going on, how it's crazy thundering, storming, flooding, power outages, all galore. They even went over areas in the city. Of course, they go crazy for the trains, but they also went over River North, which I go to, and I love that. I was like, oh my gosh, it was River North. So I was excited to see that. And that plays into part where Sydney is trying to prep everything, and thunderstorm raining and plumbing issues are amongst her, adding to the anxiety of owning possibly the restaurant. Richie is dealing with the anxiety of what's going on as well, and he gets into a car accident. He doesn't drive or do anything. He's parked, but somebody hits the passenger side of his car. He's okay. There was no hospital visit or anything. Then we have Sugar, which was so heartwarming to see, slowly trusting her mother, Jamie, with the responsibility of watching over her newborn baby while she handles the restaurant business, right? So you start to see a little bit of slow building back. I promise you, that last season with the birth scene, I cried. And then I hugged my mom. I was like, Mama, was this you? When you baby? She was like, girl, what's wrong with you? A lot. Anyway, and then Will Poulter is back, where he and Marcus are pastry chefing, but unfortunately, Chef Luca, being Will Poulter's character, is going back to Denmark. That's where he lived. As well as with Marcus, his father will be at tonight's service, so he is very nervous and trying to make a good impression to his father. To add on to the pressure, Uncle Jimmy is stressed out. Time is up from last season, and he is in his eyeballs in debt. Has 3/4 of his assets gone. He's selling his watches, and he says, anyone who's willing to invest into this place, I will give it away to anyone who farts at him. In his decision making of trying to get this restaurant off his hands so he can get some kind of money back, Richie assigns himself to help him as his financial, I don't even know what he is, consultant. He is basically taking over the finances and ensuring every penny is used, which is incredibly scary but also hilarious. To add more onto the problems stacking up, which this film beautifully does cinematically, and showing the pressure and the problems and the anxiety, which for Sydney is adding on top of stress because Sugar gave her the disappointing news that Paper Product Service cut them, and she has to use 15% less for dishes.
Dear problems, give me a short break. I am your regular customer. Give me discount, please. Don't make drama.
Those who don't know, for Paper Product Services, napkins, delivery receipts, paper towels, basically sanitational things and operational things, that has been cut. So they need to go to full retail possibly to purchase all these things to keep them. And then on top of that, Neil is back, and they are all back together, but under the worst situation possible at the end of this episode, because these episodes run fast. There's a building pipe backup that essentially bursts, all due to the possession of Paul Rudd, which I find was hilarious. Everything is just going worse, but at least they got rave reviews. That is the episode 1, and we'll be back after these messages.
Chicago, Chicago. It's a city that's exciting. It's a city that's inviting. It's a city for a woman just like me. There's a lake they call Lake Michigan. I think I'm really fitting in. The city is my perfect cup of tea. Chicago, Chicago.
Welcome back. Now, episode 2. So because of the pipe burst that happened in the last episode, everything is damaged regarding clothing wear, right? So Richie, being the maximizer of profits, paper clips and paper towels,
That's $2.89 worth of food.
found old uniforms of the original birth, takeout place outfits that they wore before. They are now going to wear what they originally had before, which makes sense because, again, if you're doing a final series, I would always assume they're going to go back in the past to really reflect on how much they've come far. Carmi is still trying to give Sydney control, but you can see a little bit of tension. It's hard for Carmi to let go and Sydney to get that control. I fully believe she's capable, especially in this episode. There were some moments where she was very high strung and even flashing back to toxic moments that they've had, but she got it together, stayed calm, collected. She didn't smoke, she didn't curse, she didn't scream. And my personality, I'm like, yo, if everybody's screaming, I'ma yell, shut up, you know, like stop. But she kept it calm, continued to speak, and people just respected that authority within this episode. So
You're going to have a dish pit in the locker room as a backup.
Carmi is trying to give her more of that ownership. They even talked about in the last episode too of them still keeping this quiet so no one really knows and doesn't cause extra panic outside of the panic that's already happening. Sugar is still trying to get some financial assistance for the restaurant, which has not been helpful at all. And I love the cinematic way where Andrew Wade did his thing. Well, as stressful moments, you feel stress. I need to also give credit to the editor as well, because this was beautifully crafted, put together, where it feels chaotic. You just definitely do see Sugar going insane trying to get some financial assistance for the restaurant. And there's again added more stress with the crew members, with Marcus still being even more nervous of his father coming in and them having to have their top dessert cut. So he has to come up with a new idea dessert that he already has, but it's not ready yet, and Chef Luca is going to help him out. So we got that dynamic going on, as well as sweeps. We see low-key calling different places to get a job. He's saying, look, hey, I'll do whatever. I'll sweep, I'll clean, I'll mop, whatever you need. So he's preparing mentally for the downfall of this restaurant, just based on how everything is going. Things are not looking good, and you also have people looking at that, trying to find a way to secure themselves because they need to still pay their bills afterwards. And then we see a point where Tina's figuring out what's going on with the delivery because they haven't gotten all their shipment stuff yet. And turns out the Wagyu has been delayed for an hour, and that has then been canceled because Uncle Jimmy canceled the order because it cost $4,000. Now, for those who don't know, Wagyu beef is a Japanese cow that is the most buttery and delicious piece of steak meat you'll ever have. And I personally cannot digest pork or beef or anything of that nature, or cow. So I've just seen it on the cooking videos I watch, heard people who ate it fall in love with it. It is literally so buttery and delicious where you don't even need oil. You just cook it on the stove. And cutting that high quality meat could actually lower the quality of what they're trying to do, which is be a Michelin star restaurant of the dishes. So Uncle Jimmy is literally cutting stuff because he's like, we either save money or we go bankrupt. Like, you better pick. So he's making some hard-hitting decisions, as well as hire a business strategist named Cheese, who is basically giving a rundown of unethical and environmental issue problem that is within this restaurant.
This chicken needs to be stored at 40 degrees or less. Hold on. When was the last time you washed this rag? There are rodent droppings near your salad prep area.
Oh, that's what those are.
Like, man, we already know we're under the water with the rats. You telling us something we don't know is not helping us. Even if you tell us about a sinkhole that's about to come out in 10 years, thank you. Like, what are you telling us that we don't already have issues and panics with, right? And then we see Carmi try to be useful and helpful to Sydney, him saying, hey, how can I help? And she's like, hey, just have a tent cover the potholes so we don't get more rain in. He's pulling the leaves and stuff when she didn't ask him to. And then him trying to be enthusiastic in a quiet moment and she thinking that he's messing with her. You can see he's trying to be more calm and give the leadership and stress to her, but it just doesn't seem to be helping. I think they have a good relationship, but you just definitely see a new dynamic of stress added onto Sydney's plate. And Carmi it's like a little brother that's trying to help, but it's like, just stay over there. And then we have Jessica from the other restaurant who helped Richie with his professionalism as the head waiter, working together. But I still think there's some romance creeping up. I definitely feel like Richie deserves this. He deserves to be happy because we also see him giving himself self-hate talk in his car. And we end on it being 5.5 hours till service and Tina holding herself together. And we also do see some sabotage possibilities. Apparently there's a lot of cigarettes and weird stuff. Carmi quit smoking. I think Richie also doesn't smoke around the area as well. A lot of things that's been going on in the back of the restaurant that we don't know about. Please give me your thoughts of what you think. If you've already watched it, don't spoil it. I'm definitely interested to see what's going on within the next few episodes. I think there's going to be a snap moment of maybe Carmi thinking Sydney isn't ready, even though she shows herself as ready. I think they're going to find out some weird situation of illegal activities going on behind the scenes of their restaurant. You know, I just want them to succeed, but it just seems like it's hard right now. This is my first time editing a full video with the Sony camera. Hopefully no issues. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope that it brings a little light to your life, or a little comedy or entertainment. Enjoy. Your light shine bright for all to see, and I will see you, Chef, in the next video.